Hello students, welcome to Dakshina E-Classroom. So guys, how are you all? I hope you all are well and you are studying very well. So guys, let's start another lecture of center of mass. In the last lecture, we had discussed about the collision and we had solved some problems on collision. So we will solve some 4 or 5 problems on collision and then we will see the next type of collision, which is oblique collision. And most of the time you will have the questions from head-on collision only, head-on in elastic or inelastic. So we will see 1 or 2 problem on oblique collision and then we will move to the last topic of this chapter, which is variable mass. So the problems we are going to do, first you can write 2 balls of mass m and 2m, 2 balls of mass m and 2m tied with 2 strings, 2 masses m and 2m tied with 2 strings like this. You can draw this diagram. Are released from the same height. Are released from the same height. यहाँ h height से दोनों को release किया. Are released from the same height, capital H. Released from the same height, capital H. They collide at the bottommost position of their path. They collide at the bottommost position of their path. So they'll come like this and they'll collide here. So after collision, definitely they are going to move back. ठीक है? And it will depend on their masses कि कौन कैसे जा रहा है. So we exactly don't know what will be their path after collision. So they collide at the bottommost point of their path. Then find out the height attained by the 2 objects. Then find out the height attained by the 2 objects after collision. ठीक है? So अब यहाँ पे क्या है? We have to find out what height they will cover after the collision. So now what is happening? They are released from the height h. So basically they will come like this. They are released from the height h. So can we find out the velocity? So what is going to happen? Both will be released from here. They will come down. They will collide and then they will move back. And depends, because they are of different masses. We don't know after collision, maybe both are moving in this direction or both are moving in this direction, or one is moving in this direction, another is moving in this direction. So exactly we don't know what is going to happen. So now first what we have to do, we have to find out the velocities with which they are colliding. Now again what is happening when they are colliding at the bottommost point? When they are colliding at the bottommost point, it will look something like this. So here we have m and 2m. So they are going to collide like this. Now when they are colliding, the strings are vertical and their movement are horizontal. At the bottommost point, string is vertical and the movement is horizontal. So now when they are colliding, this tension will be in vertical direction. That tension will be in vertical direction. Now in horizontal direction, they will apply a force on each other. They will apply a normal force on each other. And that force is internal, because for the complete system that force is internal. These tensions are external forces, but those forces are in vertical direction. So we can conserve momentum in horizontal direction. Clear? We can conserve the momentum. For conservation of momentum, first we need to know what is the velocity of the object before collision. So now when the objects are released from height h, initially it was here. Let's say it was here and the other particle m was here, 2m was here, and this is the height h. So now what we can do to find out the velocities? We can conserve the energy. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? यहाँ पे energy will be mgh is equal to half m. इसको हम बोल देते हैं first object, इसको हम बोल देते हैं second object. First object has mass m, second object has mass 2m. So mgh half m v1 square, velocity of 1. So from here we will get v1 is equal to root 2 gh. Similarly for this, what we have? 2mgh is equal to half 2m v2 square. So from here we have 2m is gone, v2 is equal to root 2 gh. And definitely it doesn't depend on mass. If 2 particles are released from the same height, when they will cover the same vertical distance, their velocity is going to change by the same amount. So initially both have zero velocity, both have covered h distance in y direction, so both will have final velocity is equal to root 2 gh. So now what is happening? This is coming in this direction with root 2 gh, and this one is coming in this direction with root 2 gh. So if I am taking, this is the first object, this is the second object. So I will say this is u1, this is u2. Velocity of 1, initial velocity of 1, initial velocity of 2. So now we have u1 is equal to, I am taking this side positive, this side negative. u1 is equal to root 2 gh, root 2 gh. So it is plus root 2 gh, and u2 is equal to minus root 2 gh. Clear? Now finally we don't know where is the direction. Let's just take this has v1 velocity here and this has v2 velocity here. So both are moving after collision. 2m is moving in this direction, m is also moving in this direction. It is moving with v2, it is moving with v1. We don't know the direction, we have just taken this. Automatically it will come. If v1 is negative, it will come in this direction. If v2 is negative, it will come in this direction. Or if it is in this direction, it will come negative. Okay? So now we have final velocities are v1 and v2, and everything is in x direction, so I don't need to use these arrows. Plus minus में काम चल जाएगा. So initially they have velocity root 2 gh minus root 2 gh. Finally v1 v2. Clear? Now we can use two equations, and collisions are, you can write in the question. Collision is head on and elastic. ठीक है? Head on तो हमें सीधा दिख रहा है कि दोनों ऐसे आके मिल रहे हैं. So collision is head on and elastic. So for elastic collision, what we can use? Velocity of separation is equal to velocity of approach. So velocity of separation क्या है? 2 is moving in this direction with v2 and 1 is coming in this direction with v1. So what we have the velocity of separation? v2 से दूर भाग रहा है और ये v1 से पास जा रहा है. तो velocity of separation is v2 minus v1 is equal to velocity of approach. ये इधर आ रहा है, ये भी इधर आ रहा है. So they are approaching towards each other with u1, और you can say u1 plus u2. ठीक है ना? तो क्या जाएगा? यहाँ पे क्या होता है आपका v2 minus v1. अगर आपको फॉर्मूला याद है तो v2 minus v1 and u1 minus u2. So u1 is root 2 gh minus u2. So minus root 2 gh plus root 2 gh. So it is 2 root 2 gh. ठीक है? v1 minus v2. This is the first equation. Now second equation is from conservation of momentum. Conservation of momentum लगा दो तो क्या आएगा यहाँ से हमारे पास? Initially we have m into root 2 gh. इस root 2 gh को कुछ और लिख लेते हैं. क्या लिखें? इसको लिख लेते हैं k. ठीक है? तो बार बार root 2 gh लिखना नहीं पड़ेगा because we are going to use that many times. So root 2 gh is k. So m into root 2 gh mk. या फिर लिख ही लो m into root 2 gh. ठीक है? इसके बाद इसका मोमेंटम क्या है? 2m and minus root 2 gh. So 2m into minus root 2 gh. So minus is here. So initial momentum is equal to final momentum. So m1 v1 which is m plus m2 v2 which is 2m. So from here we have root 2 gh minus root 2 gh. So it is minus root 2 gh. Root 2 gh minus 2 root 2 gh is equal to minus root 2 gh. v1 plus 2 v2. Clear? Now we have v2 minus v1 is equal to 2 root 2 gh. So from here we have 3v2 is equal to root 2 gh. It means v2 is equal to 1 by 3 root 2 gh. Clear? Velocity of 2, its velocity is 1 by 3 root 2 gh. It means 2m is moving in this direction with 1 by 3 of root 2 gh. Clear? Now we will find out velocity of 1. So velocity of 1 is v2 minus 2 root 2 gh. From this equation we have v2 minus this is equal to v1. So this will be equal to 1 by 3 minus 2 root 2 gh. It is equal to minus 5 by 3 root 2 gh. So now v2 is moving, 2m is moving in this direction with 1 by 3 root 2 gh, and m is moving in this direction with 5 by 3 root 2 gh. Clear है? तो इतना आया हमारे पास. Now we want to find out कि up to what height they are going to move. So we can conserve the energy. So at bottom, first for m. First we'll talk about m. So m के पास है बॉटम पे वेलोसिटी कितनी है, इतनी है, so half mv square is equal to mgh, half mv square is equal to mgh, so half mv square 25 by 9 into 2gh is equal to mgh of 1, कितनी हाइट तक जाएगा, इसको हम लिख दिया h1, so mg 2 so it is 25 by 9 into h is equal to h1. So the height up to which the first particle or m is going to move is 25 by 9h. Clear? Let's talk about 2m. So half 2m into 1 by 9 2gh is equal to 2m gh2. So mg 2. So we have h2 is equal to h by 9. So it will go up to 25 h by 9. ये बहुत ऊपर चला जाएगा, तो भाई इंपल्स उस पे लगी है, छोटा सा मास है, छोटे से मास पे थोड़ा सा फोर्स लगाओगे बहुत ऊपर भागेगा. So it has covered 25 by 9 h and this one will cover h by 9, है ना, this will cover h by 9. Now इसको और एक तरीके से कर सकते थे, आप ये कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी लगाते ही ना. So you know कि if it is coming from height h, it has velocity √2gh at the bottom. अगर ये h हाइट से जा रहा है तो ये कहाँ पे, अगर h हाइट से नीचे आ रहा है, it will have √2gh velocity at the bottom. It means if it has √2gh velocity at bottom, if it has √2gh velocity at bottom, it will go to height h. h हाइट से आया तो √2gh आई, √2gh से जाएगा तो h हाइट तक जाएगा. क्लियर है? सो नाउ यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे इसकी वेलोसिटी, फर्स्ट की वेलोसिटी एट बॉटम कितनी है, -5 by 3 √2gh, इतनी है. नाउ व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू, आई एम गोइंग टू कन्वर्ट दिस इनटू अ फॉर्म √2gh1. ठीक है, √2gh1 मतलब √2gh1 की वेलोसिटी से अगर जाएगा तो h1 हाइट तक जाएगा. ठीक है, तो उसके लिए मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, टेक दिस इनसाइड. तो व्हाट आई कैन राइट, माइनस को बाहर ही रहने दो, √2g 25 by 9 into h. So ये क्या आ गया हमारा, this is h1. ठीक है, so velocity of first particle at the bottom is √2g 25 by 9h and I can write 25 by 9h as h1. It means velocity of one is at bottom is √2gh1. तो ये कहां तक जाएगा, h1 हाइट तक जाएगा. h1 की वैल्यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ कैपिटल H क्या है, it is 25 by 9h. It means it will go to a height equals to 25 by 9h. V2, so V2 was 1 by 3 √2gh. I can write √2gh by 9, √2gh by 9 and I will write this as h2. So now velocity of 2 at the bottom is √2gh2 where h2 is h by 9. So if the velocity at bottom is √2gh2, it means it will go to a height h2 and h2 is basically h by 9. So it will go to a height h by 9. So this was a good problem. Next problem is if two particles of mass m moving towards each other with speed v get collided if the final velocities of the two balls, if the final kinetic energy of the two balls or two particles is equal to 3/4 of the initial kinetic energy. If the final kinetic energy of the two balls, not separately, इसमें combined kinetic energy लिख लो, नहीं तो confusion हो जाएगा. The combined kinetic energy of the two particles after collision is 3/4 of the initial kinetic energy or initial combined kinetic energy of the particles. Then find out coefficient of restitution. Find out coefficient of restitution. So if they are asking about coefficient of restitution, इसका मतलब definitely the collision is not elastic. It is partially inelastic. So we have two objects, two particles of mass m, they are moving towards each other with velocities v, and after the collision the kinetic energy is 3/4 of the initial kinetic energy. So here we can apply two equations. Finally, let's say it is moving with v1 and it is moving with v2. Just take like this, automatically they will give the directions. So now here we have E is equal to velocity of approach, which is 2v, velocity of separation, which is v2 minus v1, divided by velocity of approach, which is u1 minus u2. u1 is v, u2 is minus v, v minus minus v, it is 2v. So this is the first equation. v2 minus v1 is equal to 2v into E. Clear? Now they are saying that initial kinetic energy is half m v square into 2, है ना? This is initial kinetic energy, and final kinetic energy is 3/4 of the initial kinetic energy. Kinetic energy initial into 3/4 is equal to final kinetic energy. So kinetic energy finally is 3/4 of the initial kinetic energy. So initial kinetic energy half mv square into 2 into 3/4 is equal to final kinetic energy. So half m v1 square plus half m v2 square. So half m is gone. Now here we have 3/2 v square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. Clear? ये हमारे पास और एक इक्वेशन आ गया. अब यहाँ से from this equation and from conservation of momentum, conservation of linear momentum, what we can write? mv minus mv is equal to mv1 plus v2, mv1 plus mv2. So here we have, ये तो 0 हो गया, v1 plus v2 is equal to 0, v1 plus v2 is equal to 0, and v2 minus v1 is equal to 2v into E. From here we have v2 is equal to ev and v1 is equal to ev. So if we put this in this equation, what we will get? 3/2 v square is equal to v1 square, that is e square v square plus v2 square, e square v square. So we have this is equals to 2. So this is gone. Now e square is equal to 3/4. E square is equal to 3/4. So e is equal to root 3/2. E is equal to आया हमारे पास root 3/2. So coefficient of restitution will be root 3/2. Clear? Now solve this problem again. So here in this case we have, this is moving with v mass m and this is kept at rest. This is at rest. Then find out again, the case is everything is same. The final kinetic energy is 3/4 of initial kinetic energy. Collision coefficient of restitution we have to find out. Clear? So now in this case what we have, again solve this problem. So again in this case what we have, initial kinetic energy is half m v square is equal to final kinetic energy. Let's say it is moving with v1, it is moving with v2. So half m v1 square plus half m v2 square. So half m is gone. v1 square plus v2 square is equal to v square. This is one equation. Velocity of approach is equal to velocity of approach and velocity of separation with coefficient of restitution. So here we will use E is equal to, velocity of separation is v2 minus v1, velocity of approach is v. So here we have v2 minus v1 is equal to E into v. Now conservation of linear momentum. So mv is the initial momentum of the system, it is at rest. Finally mv1 plus mv2. So from here we are getting v is equal to v1 plus v2, and from here we have ev is equal to v2 minus v1. So from here we will get v2 is equal to 1 plus e by 2 into v, and v1 is equal to v2 minus ev. So v2 is 1 plus e by 2v minus ev. So from here we will have 1 minus e by 2v. So v1 is equal to 1 minus e by 2v. Now we have v1, v2. Put this here. So what we'll get? v1 square plus v2 square is equal to v square. So v1 square, when you will add these two, we will have 1 square plus v by 2 तो बाहर निकाल लो. So v square by 4 is outside. Inside we will have 1 plus e square, 1 minus e square. So 1 square plus e square plus 2e, 1 square plus e square minus 2e. So we will have 2 plus 2e square. When you will put these values here and calculate, you will get this is equal to v square. So this is gone. So from here we have and yeah, यहाँ पे एक mistake हुई है. 3/4 kinetic energy initial का 3/4 is equal to kinetic energy final. So here we will have 3/4 and here 3/4. So here we will have 3/4. So 4 is cancelled. 2 plus 2e square is equal to 3. 2e square is equal to 1 and e square is equal to 1/2. So e is equal to 1/√2. So in this case we are getting e is equal to 1/√2. So these are the two problems. Write down your next problem. So in the next problem, a particle is projected with speed v at an angle theta with horizontal. A particle is projected with speed v at an angle theta with horizontal. Coefficient of restitution for the collision of the particle and the surface is e. Then find out the range up to third collision, time of flight up to third collision, velocity at the third collision. So now here we have a particle is projected at an angle theta with horizontal with speed v. So it will go something like this. Then after collision, coefficient of restitution is e. So after collision, during the collision, because it is not elastic, it has some value e. So it will have a decreased velocity. Collision के बाद its velocity will get decreased क्योंकि energy decrease हो जाती है. So its velocity will get decreased. So it will have a lesser velocity. So अब क्या होगा? फिर से ये कुछ height तक जाएगा. So this was the first collision. This was the second collision. This is third collision. First collision, second collision, third collision. So up to this we have to find out the range, horizontal range, time of flight, and also the velocity at the third collision. So with what velocity it is going to hit the ground. So here we know that which component of velocity is going to get changed because of collision. Collision का effect किस component पे होगा. So I know कि अब जब भी हम बात करते हैं, जैसे फर्स्ट एग्जांपल जो दिया था मैंने, if it is approaching with this velocity, the force which is going to act is only in this direction. तो conservation of momentum, the momentum which is going to change or the velocity which is going to get affected is only in this direction. इस direction की जो velocity, let's say this is v and this is theta, then v cos theta will remain same after the collision. So after collision it will go with v cos theta in this direction. Here it was having v sin theta था इस side. So after collision it will go with e v sin theta. बताया था, if it is approaching with v, it will go back with ev if coefficient of restitution is e. If coefficient of restitution is v is 1, then if it is coming with v, it will go back with v. Clear है ये चीज? So coefficient of restitution अगर e है, then it will go back with speed ev. So now here we have, this is v sin theta, this is v cos theta. So when it will come back here, at this point it will have v sin theta and here it will have v cos theta projectile. So this is going to remain same. It was v cos theta, it will remain v cos theta. This was v sin theta, so it will be v sin theta into e. So it will become ev sin theta. So now at this point velocity is v sin theta, at this point velocity is ev sin theta. At this point when it will come back, it will have velocity here v cos theta and here ev sin theta. So when it will go back after collision, its velocity will be this into this into e. With whatever velocity it is approaching into e करके ये वापस जाएगा. So it is going back with e square v sin theta. Similarly here e square v sin theta, v cos theta. So it will go back with e cube v sin theta. Clear है चीज? So velocity after the third collision or velocity at third collision will be what? It is equal to v cos theta in this direction, है ना? Velocity before third collision, velocity just before third collision, velocity at the third collision. जब वो collision कर रहा है उस टाइम velocity क्या है? v cos theta. At third collision is v cos theta and here e square v sin theta. This velocity it will collide the or hit the ground. With this velocity it is going to hit the ground with v cos theta and e square v sin theta. After collision its velocity will be, after collision it will go back with v cos theta and e cube v sin theta. E cube v sin theta. It will go back with this much velocity e cube v sin theta and v cos theta. Clear? So it will collide with this much speed and it will go back with this much speed. Now we want to find out the range. Range कितनी होगी? So यहाँ पे हमारे पास first what we'll do, we'll find out the time of flight. Why I am finding your time of flight first? Because यहाँ से आने का कुछ टाइम लगेगा, which will be different from this, which will be different from this. Clear? तो time of flight पूरा up to third collision, if we have found out the time of flight, if we directly apply v cos theta in that, because velocity in x direction has not changed, it was v cos theta and it is still v cos theta. So velocity in x direction has not changed. Total time of flight into velocity in x direction कर दोगे तो what will get? Will get the total range in horizontal direction. So time of flight कैसे निकालेंगे? So time of flight for a projectile is क्या होता है? 2u sin theta by g, या फिर time of flight is equal to 2uy by g. 2uy by g. So इसमें time of flight क्या आएगा? Let's say t1 बोलते हैं इसको. So यहाँ पे initial velocity in y direction क्या है? v sin theta. So 2v sin theta by g. ठीक है? इसका time of flight क्या आ जाएगा? t2 is equal to, in this case we have 2ev sin theta by g, and in this case we have t3 is equal to 2e square v sin theta by g. So common क्या है हमारे पास? 2v sin theta by g is common. 2v sin theta by g is common. In first case we have 1, in second case we have e, in third case we have e square. Clear? So this is the time of flight and range will be equal to 2v sin theta by g into that into v cos theta. So v square sin 2 theta by g 1 plus e square. 2v sin theta, v cos theta. So I have reduced it to sin 2 theta. Clear? So v square sin 2 theta by g 1 plus e square. So time of flight we have calculated, range we have calculated, and the velocity at the third collision before and after we have calculated. So now next question, write next question. So a particle is dropped from a height h. A particle is dropped from a height h. Dropped from height h. If coefficient of restitution is e, if coefficient of restitution is e, then find total time of flight of the particle. Then find total time of flight of the particle. Try this question. So now a particle is dropped from height h. Now what will happen? It will come to ground, it will hit, and the coefficient of restitution is e. So if it is hitting the ground with some velocity v, then it will go back with velocity ev. And this will continue to happen until the velocity of the particle has become 0. ठीक है? अब यहाँ पे क्या है? Coefficient of restitution is e. So now here the particle will come with what velocity? If it is dropped by height h, its velocity at bottom will be root 2 gh. ठीक है? Its velocity will be root 2 gh. Now after first collision, its velocity will be e into v. After that e square v, then e cube v, then e to the power 4 v. Clear? So now what is going to happen if we I'll just draw the diagram कि कैसे वो आएगा और जाएगा. So it is coming like this. फिर ऐसे वापस गया. I'm sorry. पहले ये ड्रॉप हुआ और फिर वापस गया. It will come back. Then it will reflect, and this will happen until the velocity has become 0. So in first case, the time taken will be how much? It was dropped from height h. So the time of flight in this case will be, let's say it is t naught, it will be root 2 h by g. It will be root 2 h by g. So first drop वाला जो time होगा, that will be root 2 h by g. After that it is completing this. It is starting from here, coming back. Again starting, coming back. Again starting from here and coming back. So what will be the time of flight in those cases? It will be, क्या होता है हमारे पास? 2u y by g ना? 2u y by g. So in this case, its velocity is ev. So first t naught is root 2 h by g. In second case, its velocity will be, its velocity is how much? ev. So it is going with ev and coming back with ev. So time of flight कितना हो जाएगा? Let's say it is t1. So 2u y by g. So 2u y. So initial velocity in y direction is ev. 2 ev by g. Then t2 will be, ये पूरा हो गया टाइम ऑफ फ्लाइट. यहाँ से ऊपर गया और फिर वापस आया. इसका टाइम ऑफ फ्लाइट कितना हो गया? 2 ev by g. Next bounce में it will go with e square v. So time of flight will be 2 e square v by g. Then t3 will be 2 e cube v by g. And this will keep on happening up to infinite time, जब तक उसकी वेलोसिटी 0 नहीं हो जाती. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास टोटल टाइम ऑफ फ्लाइट क्या जाएगा? Total time of flight will be t naught plus t1 plus t2 plus up to infinity. So t naught is root 2 h by g. T1 is 2 ev by g plus 2 e square v by g plus 2 e cube v by g plus up to infinite. So if we add all of these, we will get root 2 h by g is outside. फिर अंदर क्या जाएगा? प्लस 2v by g is common everywhere. 2v या 2ev by g is common everywhere. 2ev by g, 2eev by g. So 2ev by g ही common ले लेते हैं. So what we get here? 1 plus e square plus e cube plus up to infinite. Now e is here less than 1. So आपको geometrical progression का at least addition तो आता ही है. So here we have root 2 h by g plus 2e v is root 2 g h, है ना? क्या होगा यहाँ पे? Velocity at this point will be root 2 g h, and this will keep on adding, keep on getting multiply with every collision. So here we have root 2 g h, फिर e into root 2 g h, e square root 2 g h. So v is basically root 2 g h. So 2e root 2 g h by g into 1 plus e square up to infinity. So from here I can write g square here. So this will become root 2 h by g, root 2 h by g. So root 2 h by g is common. 1 plus, let's write it separately, root 2 h by g plus 2e root 2 h by g. And इसका summation क्या होता है? If e is less than 1, if e is lying between 0 to 1, its summation will be 1 by 1 minus e, a by 1 minus r. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा? यही है ना? What we are doing? यहाँ पे जो रेशियो आप मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं ज्योमेट्रिक प्रोग्रेशन में, that is e, हर बार e मल्टीप्लाई होता जा रहा है, तो इसका समेशन क्या आता है? a by 1 minus r. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा? r. The ratio which you are multiplying each time is e. इसका आपको ज्योमेट्रिकल प्रोग्रेशन का सम आता होगा, आना चाहिए. So what will be its sum? If we have 1 plus e square, तो every time what we are multiplying e. So यहाँ पे हमारे पास आ जाएगा a by 1 minus r, where a is the first term, r is the ratio which you are multiplying each time. So a is the first term, a is 1, so 1 here. Each time you are multiplying what? You are multiplying e. E is the ratio which you are multiplying each and every time to the next term. to get the next term. So a by 1 minus r, a is 1, 1 minus r is ratio which is e. So इसका सम आ गया इतना, तो हमने यहाँ मल्टीप्लाई किया 1 minus 1 by e. So what we are getting, root 2h by g 1 plus 2e by 1 minus e. ठीक है, तो if you write it, what you will get, ये 1 minus e यहाँ है, 1 minus e plus 2e by 1 minus e. So what we are getting, 1 plus e by 1 minus e. This will be the total time of flight for this particle. ठीक, total time of flight मतलब इतने टाइम के बाद it will have almost zero velocity. Clear है? तो 1 root 2h by g into 1 plus e divided by 1 minus v will be the total time of flight. Write your next topic, which is oblique collision. Oblique collision. So we had seen that in oblique collision, the line of impact and line of motion are not same. Those are different. So basically, let's say we have two particles of some masses m1, it is moving with u1, another is m2 and it is moving with u2. At collision, they are like this. This is m1, this is m2. So the line of impact is this. They are getting collided at along this line. The forces or the impulsive forces which are going to act are along this line, and their line of motion is this. Both are moving. One is moving in this direction, another is moving in this direction. So let's say after collision, they are moving with velocity v1 and v2. Let's say its velocity, this is the first particle, its velocity is v1, its velocity is v2. Now we don't know the direction, in which direction they are moving. So let's just take that their velocities are v1 and v2. Now we know that the velocity which is perpendicular to the line of impact, ठीक है, line of impact is this. It means the impulsive forces which will be acting on the particles are along this line. Now the velocity has a component along this line and a component which is perpendicular to this line. Now this impact or this impulse cannot affect the component of velocity which is perpendicular to this. So basically in oblique collision we have to remember, वैसे oblique collision से बहुत क्वेश्चन नहीं आते हैं, मतलब आते ही नहीं है कह सकते हो आप. So oblique collision में यहाँ पे क्या होगा, the perpendicular component of velocity is going to remain unaffected because उस डायरेक्शन में कोई impulse ही नहीं है. Line of impact ये है और velocity in the direction perpendicular to the line of impact is going to remain same. जैसा पहले था before collision, after collision it is going to remain same. And velocity, component of velocity which is along the line of impact, it is going to change. ठीक, तो ये जो v1 v2 है, I'll tell this again. इसको हम थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट लेने वाले हैं. So now we are just going to talk about the components which are along the line of impact. So line of impact is this. Initially it was moving with u1 in this direction and u2 in this direction. Now let's say the line of impact is making an angle theta with horizontal. The line of impact is making an angle theta with horizontal. ठीक है, so अब यहाँ पे क्या होगा, if this is theta, this is also theta, same ही है ना दोनों. So along the line of impact what we have, this is the line of impact, this is making an angle theta with horizontal. First particle is coming like this. It has a component, or let's say this is u1, velocity of m1, and this is u2, velocity of m2. So if this is theta, this is also theta, and if this is theta, this is also theta. So the component in this direction will be u1 cos theta, and component of u2 in this direction will be u2 cos theta. Clear है ये चीज? And another component will be perpendicular to this line. एक कंपोनेंट इधर आ गया, एक कंपोनेंट इधर आएगा, u1 sin थीटा, एंड इसका क्या आएगा, इट वाज मूविंग लाइक दिस, सो इसका आ जाएगा u1 sin थीटा. So u2 के we have taken two components, one in this direction and one perpendicular to the line of impact. Now these two components are the main concern. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा, u1 cos theta, u2 cos theta, these are going to get changed. u1 sin theta is going to remain same. Now let's say after collision, so I am taking positive in this direction and negative in this direction, and I am saying that first particle is moving with v1 in this direction and second particle is moving with v2 in this direction. So what exactly happened? We are not talking about the directions perpendicular to this. So we are just focusing on the component of velocity which is along this direction. So जो भी होगा it will have some velocity in this direction along this line. So after collision जो भी component change होगा वो सिर्फ इसी direction में होगा क्योंकि force is in this direction, initial velocities are in this direction. So we are just focusing on this line. So final velocities, let's say it is moving with v1 in this direction, it is moving with v2 in this direction. So if we apply the coefficient of restitution, it is moving away and it is coming towards it. So velocity of separation will be v2 minus v1 divided by velocity of approach. So दोनों क्या हो रहे हैं एक दूसरे की तरफ, u1 cos theta and u2 cos theta से आ रहे हैं. So it will be u1 cos theta plus u2 cos theta. And if you want to see as formula, see from formula what will have, यहाँ पे है हमारे पास u1 cos theta. What is the formula? v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. Basically आपको क्या करना है, आपको पता है कि coefficient of restitution is going to be positive. तो वेलोसिटी ऑफ सेपरेशन का मैग्नीट्यूड कितना है, कितने से एक दूसरे से वो दूर जा रहे हैं, बस वो फाइंड आउट कर लो. एंड वेलोसिटी ऑफ अप्रोच का मैग्नीट्यूड कितना है. सो बोथ यू हैव टू टेक द मैग्नीट्यूड. सो नाउ यहाँ पे क्या है, एक इधर जा रहा है दूसरा उसकी तरफ आ रहा है. ठीक, तो ये भाग रहा है, ये अप्रोच करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. सो वेलोसिटी ऑफ सेपरेशन विल डिक्रीज. अगर दोनों ऐसे भाग रहे होते तो वेलोसिटी ऑफ v1 प्लस v2, क्योंकि दोनों सेपरेशन में ही कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं. इन दिस केस एक सेपरेट होने की कोशिश कर रहा है, एक अप्रोच होने की कोशिश कर रहा है. दैट्स व्हाई वेलोसिटी ऑफ सेपरेशन विल बी माइनस v2 माइनस v1. जैसे यहाँ पे u1 cos theta u2 cos theta both are contributing in approach, तो क्या आ जाएगा, दोनों का ऐड हो जाएगा u1 cos theta plus u2 cos theta. अगर एक अप्रोच करने की कोशिश करता और दूसरा दूर भाग रहा होता तो फिर क्या होते, वेलोसिटीज ऑफ अप्रोच सबट्रैक्ट हो जाते. सो नाउ हियर वी हैव e is equal to v2 minus v1 divided by u1 cos theta plus u2 cos theta. If you use the conservation of linear momentum, what will get? So I am taking this side positive. So m1 u1 cos theta minus m2 u2 cos theta is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Clear? Now हमारे पास क्या है, यहां से हम लिख सकते हैं v2 is equal to e into u1 cos theta प्लस u2 cos theta प्लस v1. ठीक है. सो अब यहाँ पे क्या है, आप v1 की वैल्यूज v2 की वैल्यूज पुट करोगे यहाँ पे, you will get v1 एंड देन फिर से वैल्यू यहाँ पे पुट करोगे v1 की, तो you will get v2. ठीक, तो दिस इज द टास्क फॉर यू. और जब हम यहाँ पे e is equal to 1 पुट करेंगे, जब हम e is equal to 1 पुट करेंगे, सॉल्व कर ही लेते हैं. ठीक है, तो m1 u1 cos theta minus m2 u2 cos theta is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is put this value here, so m2 v1 plus m2 e u1 cos theta plus u2 cos theta. So from here we will get u1 is equal to v1 is equal to, so v1 here we have m1 u1 cos theta minus m2 u2 cos theta, m2 e u1 cos theta plus u2 cos theta. So from here we have u1 cos theta वाले टर्म्स एक साइड करेंगे. So u1 cos theta यहाँ पे है, u1 cos theta यहाँ पे है. So m1 minus m2 e into u1 cos theta plus u2 cos theta वाले टर्म्स, तो u2 cos theta u2 cos theta. So here we have minus 2 m2 minus m2 into 1 plus e u2 cos theta divided by m1 plus m2, m1 plus m2 and here also m1 plus m2. Clear? Now if you put e is equal to 1, इस वैल्यू को पुट करके आप v2 निकाल लेंगे. फिर यहाँ पे पुट करो e is equal to 1, so e is equal to 1 से हमारे पास आ जाएगा v1 is equal to, e is equal to 1 पुट किया तो m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 cos theta minus यहाँ पे पुट किया, so हमारे पास आएगा 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2 into cos theta. ठीक है, तो this is the same as the one we used to derive in the case of elastic collision. E is equal to 1 मतलब elastic collision. बस यहाँ पे u1 की जगह u1 cos theta आ गया है. यहाँ पे u2 cos थीटा आ गया है। सो बेसिकली पहले क्या होता था, पहले along the line of impact या फिर line of impact is same as the line of motion. So velocities are along the line of impact in that case, सारी की सारी velocity उसी डायरेक्शन में है। But now in this case because those are not along the line of impact, तो हमने line of impact के along निकाला, so इसलिए हमारे पास u1 cos थीटा आ गया। अगर ये head-on collision होता तो सारी की सारी velocity इधर होती। तो basically this is the velocity along the line of impact, velocity along the line of impact। तो इस केस में you are getting the same equation but in place of u1 and u2 you are getting u1 cos theta and u2 cos theta। so इतना इसमें आपको फॉर्मूले वगैरह याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस एक बार you can say कि आपका रिवीजन हो गया हेड ऑन का ही, because eventually what you are doing, आपने जो परपेंडिकुलर कंपोनेंट था, जो लाइन ऑफ इम्पैक्ट के परपेंडिकुलर कंपोनेंट था, उसको आपने मान लिया कि इट इज रिमेनिंग द सेम, और लाइन ऑफ इम्पैक्ट के अलोंग जो कंपोनेंट्स थे आपने उसको सेम जैसे पहले ड्राइव करते थे वैसे ही किया। सो देयर इज नथिंग डिफरेंट, बस आप क्या कर रहे हो, यू आर टेकिंग द कंपोनेंट्स अलोंग द लाइन ऑफ इम्पैक्ट, और जब आप अलोंग द लाइन ऑफ इम्पैक्ट फोकस कर रहे हो देन फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर कंपोनेंट ऑफ वेलोसिटी फिर तो हेड ऑन कोलिजन बन गया। इफ यू आर इग्नोरिंग दिस component and only focusing on this, तो आप फिर से क्या कर रहे हो, you are talking about the head on collision only। so whenever you have oblique collision तो क्या करना है, components perpendicular to the line of impact will remain same, will remain unaffected, and along the line of impact वैसे ही होगा जैसा head on collision में होता है, क्योंकि when you are taking components along the line of impact आप फिर से head on collision पढ़ रहे हैं। So, इसके केसेस हमने देखे हैं क्या? Yes, जो फर्स्ट में केस था, एकदम फर्स्ट एग्जांपल जिसमें अ पार्टिकल वाज कमिंग लाइक दिस एंड इट वाज मूविंग अवे, तो यहाँ पे हमने ये कंपोनेंट को सेम रखा था बिफोर कोलिजन एंड आफ्टर कोलिजन, सो दैट इज अ एग्जांपल ऑफ ऑब्लिक कोलिजन। फिर हमने अभी जो क्वेश्चंस किए थे प्रोजेक्टाइल के, इन विच अ पार्टिकल वाज प्रोजेक्टेड विद वेलोसिटी v एट एन एंगल थीटा एंड इट वाज बाउंसिंग अगेन एंड अगेन, so that was again a case of oblique collision, क्योंकि हमने फिर से क्या किया, the component of velocity which is in x direction हमने उसको constant रखा and component which is in y direction उस पे हम e multiply करते गए after every collision। एक और प्रॉब्लम लिख लेंगे, बहुत सिंपल प्रॉब्लम ही है। so this is m, it is moving with 10 meter per second, it is moving with 10 meter per second, and when they are colliding the line of impact makes an angle 37 degree with horizontal. Then find the final velocities of the objects. Find the final velocities of the objects. तो अब यहाँ पे क्या है, along here we have velocity in this direction 10 meter per second and 10 meter per second. Perpendicular to this line एक component आएगा this and this, and along this line एक component आएगा। So now here we have this angle is 37, so this angle is also 37, this is also 37, this is 53, this is 37, ठीक है। तो now this is 10 and this is 37, तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा, 10, 37, 37 and 10, so here we have 8 meter per second and here we have 6 meter per second, again 8 meter per second and 6 meter per second. So this 6 meter per second will remain same for this one. This 6 meter per second will remain same for this one. Now after collision, because also E is equal to, we have 1, elastic collision. So for E is equal to 1, now here we have the line of impact is this and their velocities along the line of impact is 8 and 8. So after collision what will happen? So basically when you have ignored these components, now the remaining part is head-on collision because they are coming towards each other with 8 meter per second elastic collision, E is equal to 1 and they have same masses, then what will happen? The velocities will get exchanged. तो क्या होगा, ये इधर 8 मीटर पर सेकेंड से जा रहा था और ये इधर 8 मीटर पर सेकेंड से जा रहा था, तो फाइनली इसकी वेलोसिटी ये ले लेगा, so it will move back with 8 meter per second and this will move back, it will move with its velocity, so it will come in this direction with 8 meter per second. So finally velocity of one will be 6 meter per second will remain unaffected, this is 37, so this 6 meter per second will remain unaffected and 8 meter per second जो पहले इधर था वो इधर आ जाएगा 8 meter per second. So now we will have something like this. So velocity of first particle will be something like this. For second particle, initially it was having 6 meter per second in this direction and 8 meter per second in this direction, but finally it will move with its velocity. This particle will move with its velocity. So it is 8 meter per second in this direction. So it is going to move in this direction with like this. So now here we have the final velocity of this particle is 10 meter per second in this direction and its velocity is 10 meter per second in this direction. If you want to find out the angle, so what will be the angle? So this is 37, this is 37. It means this is perpendicular. So ये आ गया 53. Now 53 we can find out this. So ये 6 है, ये 8 है. What will be this angle? This angle is going to be again 53. So ये है हमारा horizontal, ये है 53 and ये भी कितना है 53. तो ये आ जाएगा 106. तो ये टोटल एंगल कितना हो जाएगा 106 डिग्री. सिमिलरली फॉर दिस ये टोटल एंगल कितना हो जाएगा 106 डिग्री. दिख नहीं रहा है थोड़ा सा ये और इधर बनेगा. क्लियर? यू कैन मतलब 8 मीटर पर सेकेंड विल बी समथिंग लाइक दिस. तो हमारे पास कुछ इस तरीके से एंगल आएगा एंड दिस विल बी 106 डिग्रीज. सो फाइनल वेलोसिटीज विल बी 106 डिग्रीज. इसका इधर सो बेसिकली ये कुछ इस तरीके से जाएगा और 106 ये कुछ दिस इज 37 एंड अगेन व्हेन यू विल कैलकुलेट दिस वन, ये एंगल जब आप निकालोगे तो ये एंगल फिर से कितना हो जाएगा, दिस एंगल विल अगेन बी 53 डिग्री. सो यहाँ पे भी हमारे पास क्या जाएगा, ये टोटल एंगल विल बी 106 डिग्रीज. सो 106 डिग्रीज मतलब कुछ इस तरीके से जाएगा 106 from here and this is 106 from here. So these are going to move like this. Clear? So this is a question from oblique collision. Oblique collision से बहुत ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आपके पास नहीं आते हैं, but you should know कि oblique collision किस तरीके से होता है. So basically हमने oblique collision के और भी examples देखे थे, but in that case one object या फिर a surface was at rest. जो हमने projectile देखा, first example देखा, those were the oblique collision. And what we have to do in that case, line of impact के perpendicular component of velocity will remain same. And when you talk about the components along the line of impact, simply you have to do like head-on collision, because when you are focusing only along the line of impact, it has become already the head-on collision. So this is about the oblique collision. Next we'll start topic which is variable mass. So write down next variable mass. Variable mass. So we had seen in Newton's laws of motion that we can write F is equal to dP divided by dt, and then we had written that F is equal to ma. So basically here we have P is equal to m into V. P is equal to mv, and now when we differentiate this we get this. But what we had done there, dP by dt is equal to, we had written m dV by dt. We just wrote m dV by dt because we had considered there that mass of a body is constant. We are not going to change the mass, or we are not going to deal with the variable mass objects. So now here we had directly written that m dV by dt. But if you differentiate this, what exactly we are going to get? Keep this as constant, differentiate this, plus keep this as constant and differentiate this. So we are going to get two terms, where in first case m into dV by dt, m is considered constant. We have two functions, mass as well as velocity. So keep this constant, differentiate this, keep this constant and then differentiate this. So if we have variable mass, dm by dt means change in mass, है ना, rate of change of mass. It may increase or decrease. So now force will be equal to this plus this. ठीक है, तो इसको हम बोलते हैं thrust force. When mass is changing from in a system, when mass is increasing or decreasing, because of which if there is some force, that is called thrust force. Clear? Now let's say we have a system. Which has initial mass is equal to m. Initial mass is m. After some dt time, because of some process, the sum of the mass has come out. So let's say the new system is dm is outside the system and m minus dm is inside the system. ठीक है? So finally, after dt time, we have dm mass outside the system and m minus dm mass inside the system. So basically some mass of the system has gone outside. Clear है ये चीज? तो अब यहाँ पे हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? But इस केस में क्या है? मास सिस्टम से बाहर निकल रहा है. अब यहाँ पे मान लो कि this system was moving with some v naught velocity. This system was moving with some v naught velocity. Finally जब ये मास बाहर निकला, जैसे हम रॉकेट प्रपल्शन में देखते हैं, ठीक है, उसमें क्या होता है कि फ्यूल, बहुत सारा फ्यूल जल करके एकदम ऐसे झटके से बाहर निकलता है, ठीक, तो और उसकी वजह से द रॉकेट इज एबल टू लिफ्ट और द रॉकेट इज एबल टू फ्लाई, ठीक है। तो अब यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, दिस मास इज कमिंग आउट विद सम वेलोसिटी रिलेटिव टू द ऑब्जेक्ट। अगर ऑब्जेक्ट की वेलोसिटी से आया, ठीक है, जो हमने क्वेश्चन देखे थे एरोप्लेन से, फूड पैकेट्स आर वी आर ड्रॉपिंग द फूड पैकेट्स, so we are dropping with respect to aeroplane. It means with respect to aeroplane the velocity of the object is zero. With whatever velocity the aeroplane is moving, with the same velocity the object is moving. So we have just released it. It will move with the velocity of aeroplane. ठीक है, but अगर velocity of aeroplane के respect में कुछ velocity से it is getting released, ठीक, उनके बीच में कुछ velocity difference है, so उसी को हम बोलेंगे रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी। सो लेट्स से दिस मास इज मूविंग आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम, आप लिख सकते हो दिस मास इज मूविंग आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम विथ अ वेलोसिटी रिलेटिव टू द मेन मास। दिस ऑब्जेक्ट इज मूविंग विथ अ रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी vr with respect to the main object and now its final velocity, ठीक है, आफ्टर ये जो मास बाहर निकल रहा है इट इज मूविंग, जब भी मैंने बोला है कि विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दी वेलोसिटी ऑफ द मेन सिस्टम हम क्या लेते हैं, विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू फाइनल वेलोसिटी। सो इसकी रिस्पेक्ट में, इसकी पहले वेलोसिटी थी v नॉट, अब इसकी वेलोसिटी हो गई v नॉट प्लस dv, इसकी वेलोसिटी हो गई v नॉट प्लस dv एंड v नॉट प्लस dv के रिस्पेक्ट में ये vr वेलोसिटी से बाहर आया है दिस फ्यूल। सो अब यहाँ पे हम क्या कर सकते हैं भाई, सिस्टम से जो मास बाहर आया, तो main system and the mass which is coming out, they have some interaction between them, they will have some forces between them, they will have some impulsive forces between them, but if we take the complete as a system we can conserve the momentum because those are internal forces. So we can write P initial is equal to P final. If I do that, P initial is equal to P final. P initial it is mv naught, P final will be momentum of this plus momentum of this. So now this is the velocity with respect to velocity of main object which is v naught plus dv. So velocity with respect to ground, here this is the velocity with respect to ground, this is velocity with respect to ground, so we have to find out the velocity of dm with respect to ground. So now velocity of dm with respect to ground will be how much, velocity of dm with respect to a frame plus velocity of that frame. So velocity of dm with respect to this is vr plus velocity of this, so it will be v naught plus dv. So the velocity of dm with respect to ground will be this much. Now P initial is equal to P final. P initial is mv naught is equal to momentum of this dm into vr plus v naught plus dv plus m into m minus gm into v naught plus dv. So here dv is what, dv is the change in, जो extra change in velocity हुआ है, v naught था and there is some change in velocity that is dv. It may increase or decrease depending on the mass, उससे दूर जा रहा है या पास आ रहा है, उस पे अटैच हो रहा है या उससे रिमूव हो रहा है, clear? So now when we solve this we have mv naught is equal to vr dm plus v naught dm plus dm into dv plus mv naught plus mdv minus v naught dm minus dm dv. So now from here this will get cancelled, v naught dm, v naught dm, mv naught, mv naught. So from here we have mdv is equal to vr dm, and if you divide it by dt, so we will get mdv by dt, which is nothing but a force is equal to vr dm by dt, where dm by dt is the mass flow rate, किस रेट से वो बाहर जा रहा है सिस्टम के या अंदर आ रहा है सिस्टम के। नाउ सो बेसिकली जब सिस्टम से जो मास है वो बाहर जाएगा या अंदर आएगा विथ अ रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी, आप अगर किसी व्हीकल पे, किसी सिस्टम पे विच इज ऑलरेडी मूविंग विद सम वेलोसिटी, आप उस पे कोई नया मास ले जाके रख दो विद द सेम वेलोसिटी, जिस वेलोसिटी से वो चल रहा है वही वेलोसिटी प्रोवाइड करके, इफ यू कीप इट देयर इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू फील एनीथिंग। बट अगर उसको आप किसी जोर की वेलोसिटी से, ठीक है, अगर उस पे ले जाके आप अटैच करोगे देन इट विल फील अ थ्रस्ट। If you are removing a mass with some relative velocity from a system, it will again feel a thrust. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा, if there is a relative velocity then only it will feel a thrust force. इसको हम बोलते हैं थ्रस्ट फोर्स. सो इट विल बी VR dm बाई माइनस VR dm बाई dt. क्लियर. तो अब यहाँ पे क्या है, अब dm बाई dt पे डिपेंड करेगा कि dm बाई एंड ऑल्सो रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी पे डिपेंड करेगा. इफ रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी इज 0 देन देयर विल बी नो थ्रस्ट फेल्ट बाय द मेन सिस्टम. क्लियर. अब यहाँ पे इफ लेट्स से in this case dm मास बाहर आया, dm मास कैसा हुआ, बाहर आया. So if you see the main system से some mass is coming out. So यहाँ पे क्या है, initial mass. If I write the rate of flow of mass from the system, तो क्या आएगा, m final minus m initial divided by dt या divided by total time. So m final क्या है, m minus dm. m initial क्या है, minus m divided by dt. So it is minus dm by dt. So basically when the mass is coming out of the main system, rate of flow of mass from the system. So rate of flow of mass from the system, if mass is coming out, then we will have minus dm by dt. अगर dm मास मेन सिस्टम से बाहर निकल रहा है तो रेट ऑफ फ्लो ऑफ मास विल बी माइनस dm by dt. m final minus m initial by dt. So if the mass is coming out of the system, dm तो क्या है, dm is a positive, mass तो negative नहीं हो सकता ना. So now this quantity is positive. So if the mass is coming out of the system, then rate of flow of mass कैसा होता है, it is minus. If it is coming inside the system, तो कैसा होगा, it will be positive. So when mass is getting removed, mass is removed from the system, removed from the main system, rate of flow of mass कैसा होगा, it will be minus dm by dt and it will be negative. So when we have, if you take VR into minus dm by dt, है ना, VR into minus dm by dt. So this quantity is negative. This quantity is negative. अब किस पे डिपेंड करेगा, रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी पे. So now we have minus dm by dt. This quantity is already negative. This quantity is negative. Now we will talk about the relative velocity. So if with respect to main object, with respect to main object, this is what? This is relative velocity. So if this relative velocity is opposite to the opposite to the direction of motion of main body, if this is opposite to the direction of motion of main body, इसका मतलब ये क्या ले लेंगे हम, नेगेटिव. भाई जो डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन ऑफ बॉडी है वो हमने लिया पॉजिटिव, then v relative will be negative. This is already negative, this will be negative, this complete will become positive. So now then we will have m dv by dt is equal to vr minus dm by dt. So first case what we have taken, if the mass flow rate या फिर आपका जो मास है वो सिस्टम से बाहर निकल रहा है, if the mass is going out of the system and in every dt time dm mass is going out of the system, तो उस टाइम mass flow rate कैसा आता है, mass flow rate is, this is negative, this is going out of the system. So ये क्या है, this is positive, this is positive, this is negative. तो ये पूरा कैसा है, negative. If the velocity of the mass which is going out is opposite to the direction of motion of the main body, then velocity of the main object which is dv, in dt time dv से change हो गया था, तो velocity of the main object will increase. dv by dt कैसा है, dv by dt is, this is positive, dv by dt is positive, it means velocity is increasing. dv by dt is positive मतलब velocity is increasing. So basically जो आप रॉकेट प्रोपल्शन देखते हो उसमें क्या होता है, उसमें कुछ वेलोसिटी से, हाई वेलोसिटी से मास इज कमिंग आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम एंड इट इज गोइंग बैक, है ना, वो मास इधर जा रहा है विद सम रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी, विद अ वेरी हाई रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी, तो इट इज मूविंग अवे फ्रॉम दी, और इट इज मूविंग इन द ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन ऑफ द मेन सिस्टम. तो फिर ये क्या होता है, वेलोसिटी गेन करके ये ऊपर जाता है. सो बेसिकली द रॉकेट विल मूव लाइक दिस, fuel will come like this, so it will move with some relative velocity in opposite direction to the direction of the main body. So यहाँ पे हमने क्या देखा, rate of flow of mass from the system, वहां से जो बाहर निकल रहा है, या फिर आप क्या बोल सकते हो, rate of change of mass of the main system, rate of change of mass of the main system. तो पहले क्या था, m और बाद में क्या है, m minus dm. So m minus dm minus m divided by dt. So here we have minus dm by dt. So when mass is coming out of the system, when mass is coming out of the system, rate of change of mass of the main system कैसा आ रहा है? It is negative. When mass is coming out of the system. और अगर आप यहाँ पे बात करो मास फ्लो रेट की, तो मास फ्लो रेट क्या हो रहा है? dm by dt रेट से, dm by dt रेट से मास इज कमिंग आउट. एंड मेन बॉडी के मास में क्या चेंज आ रहा है? इट इज माइनस dm by dt. मेन बॉडी के मास में कितना चेंज आ रहा है? माइनस dm by dt. इफ यू आर एडिंग द मास, तो पहले था m, बाद में हो जाएगा m plus dm. So m final minus m initial divided by dt, it will be this minus this, it will be dm by dt. So if you are adding the mass in a system, if you are adding the mass in a system, then we will have rate of change of mass to be dm by dt. If you are removing from the system, it will be minus dm by dt. Clear है ये चीज? And when we will have velocity of the object or velocity of the mass which is coming out of the system, velocity of the mass which is coming out of the system, अगर ये कैसा चल रहा है? If it is moving in the direction opposite to the direction of main body, then the force is the velocity is going to increase for the main body. Clear है चीज? इस पे हम लोग कुछ क्वेश्चंस कर लेते हैं related to rocket mostly. So write down your question. Find the minimum rate of burning of fuel. Find the minimum rate of burning of fuel so that rocket just take off. So that rocket just take off. The mass of rocket is 10,000 kg. The mass of rocket is 10,000 kg and relative velocity with which the fuel is going to get eject. The rate at which the velocity at which the fuel is going to get eject is Vr is equal to 100 meter per second. Vr is equal to 100 meter per second. Then find out the rate at which or the rate of burning fuel. ठीक है? So आपको मास कितना गिवन है? 10,000 kg and relative velocity with which the burning fuel will come out is 100 meter per second. So let's say we have a rocket of 10,000 kg mass and the fuel which is coming out is with velocity 100 meter per second. So just take off. Just take off की कंडीशन कब होगी? तो यहाँ पे क्या है? just take off की कंडीशन के लिए ऊपर जो फोर्स लग रहा है एंड नीचे जो फोर्स लग रहा है that should be same. So now here on 10,000 kg some mg force will act. If we apply equal force या इक्वल से थोड़ा सा बड़ा फोर्स इट विल बी एबल टू टेक ऑफ. सो मिनिमम फोर्स की बात करें तो हमारा क्या आना चाहिए? mg इज इक्वल टू थ्रस्ट फोर्स बिकॉज ऑफ द फ्लो ऑफ फ्यूल. सो mg इज इक्वल टू f थ्रस्ट. जो थ्रस्ट फोर्स लग रहा है, थ्रस्ट फोर्स कैसा लगेगा? सो यहाँ पे कैसा है? थ्रस्ट फोर्स हमारे पास आया था f थ्रस्ट इज इक्वल टू माइनस vr dm बाई dt. ठीक है? अब dm by dt ये क्वांटिटी तो कैसी है? दिस क्वांटिटी इज पॉजिटिव है ना. dm हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम dm मास को dt टाइम में बाहर ले रहे हैं. सो दिस इज dm मास dt टाइम में बाहर आया. दैट्स इट. सो dm dt ये तो पॉजिटिव है. अब यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी एक नेगेटिव है. हमने लिया अगर वेलोसिटी इज इन दिस डायरेक्शन, मैंने लिया इधर पॉजिटिव इधर नेगेटिव. सो वेलोसिटी इज इन दिस डायरेक्शन, तो वेलोसिटी कैसी है? पॉजिटिव. तो f थ्रस्ट कैसा लगेगा? नेगेटिव साइड में. F थ्रस्ट लगेगा इस साइड में. सो बेसिकली इफ यू आर टेकिंग द मास आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम, अभी हमने जो डिराइव किया वो मास हम आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम ले रहे थे, तो ये हमारे पास ये कैसा है? दिस इज पॉजिटिव. अब जिस साइड आपकी वेलोसिटी होगी, जिस साइड आपके जो लीविंग मास, द मास व्हिच इज लीविंग, उसकी जिस साइड वेलोसिटी होगी उसके ऑपोजिट में F थ्रस्ट लगेगा. ठीक है ना? व्हेन द मास इज लीविंग द सिस्टम, the force will act in the direction opposite to the direction of leaving mass. Leaving mass अगर इधर जा रहा है तो force इधर लगेगा because यहाँ पे क्या है? माइनस है. So F thrust will act in this direction, mg is acting in this direction. Both should be equal for the just take off. So mg is equal to 10,000 into 10 is equal to thrust force. So thrust force कितना लगेगा? 100 into dm by dt and dm by dt we want to find out. So from here what we are getting, dm by dt is equal to 1000 kg per second. कितना होना चाहिए? 1000 kg per second. If just take off की condition है, dm by dt should be 1000 kg per second. Every second 1000 kg. 1000 kg कितना सारा होता है? इतना सारा फ्यूल बर्न होके निकलना चाहिए. Then only this rocket will be able to lift or just take off. So next question is, a rocket has initial mass 20 into 10 to the power 3 kg. A rocket has initial mass 20 into 10 to the power 3 kg. If it is to be blast off with initial acceleration of 4 meter per second square, if it is to be blast off with initial acceleration of 4 meter per second square, then what is the initial thrust needed? Then what is the initial thrust needed? So here we have a rocket of 20,000 kg, and they are saying that initial acceleration required is how much? 4 meter per second square. It is 4 meter per second square. Then how much fuel or how much initial thrust? How much initial thrust is required? So here again we have mg is in downward direction. When the fuel will come out, it will give a thrust force in this direction. So F thrust will be in this direction. So simply what we have to do, we know that its acceleration should be 4 meter per second square in upward direction. So F thrust minus mg is equal to ma in this direction. M is 20 into 10 to the power 3 into a is 4. So F thrust will be equal to how much? 80,000 minus plus 20. So it will be 280 into 10 to the power 3 Newton. 280 into 10 to the power 3 Newton. है ना? So this is mg 20,000 into 10, and this is the acceleration, mass into acceleration for that system. So basically what we want its acceleration to be 4 meter per second square. So कितना होना चाहिए? Net force is equal to ma. Net force F thrust minus mg is equal to m into a. This will be the F thrust required for initial acceleration is equal to 4 meter per second square. So these are some questions on variable mass. We will get some more questions when you will solve your practice sheet. So almost we have done all the topics in the center of mass. So please study well. जो भी आपके exercise, assignments, homework, quizzes हैं, उनको time पे solve कीजिए. And if you have any doubt, definitely you can ask us on the apps और आपके Telegram वगैरह पे आप लोग पूछ सकते हैं. So अच्छे से पढ़ते रहेंगे, खूब मेहनत करेंगे, and thank you.